Yo, yo, yo! What's up, everybody? It's IMO here, Season 1, Episode 1. Thank you for tuning in to Woo 199. My name is Seth Burke.
My name is Dante Fair, aka Donnie Drizzle.
And we're just going to be here interviewing a couple of our mates, a couple of our guys, two of whom are artists. One is just highly respected, well-liked guy in the community. And we're just interviewing them to see who their top 3 favorite artists are across all generations, across all genres, and most importantly, why.
Why is definitely the most important aspect of it, because your top 3 could be complete trash, but if you give me a good reason why, I have to respect it.
Yeah, and also, this way we'll be able to find several commonalities and similarities between these artists and kind of get a formula together maybe about what makes an artist so successful or makes them a fan favorite.
Yeah, and then we'll just take everyone's opinion, including our own, and just come to an overall consensus of what makes you poppin'.
All right, so let's hear it, D. Let's hear your top 3.
All right, let me think. So, all right, I'm gonna start off with number 3. I'll probably go with XXX Tentacion.
Controversial.
Yeah, controversial, but that's behind the scenes. Musically, man he was just gifted and very intelligent on music. He studied the way he could manipulate the frequency of music to make someone feel a certain way. And just how he could go from screamo to rapping, spitting facts, bars, anything, to singing a little bit. And to me, him being so versatile is what makes him one of my top. But you can't forget the legend. Number 2, I'd have to go with Juice WRLD. And that's mostly because his ability to freestyle. And freestyling to me it's a big part of rapping. Yeah. He has 2 hour-long freestyles.
Right, which is totally insane.
One of them is to straight up Eminem beats, and that's it. Yeah, just multiple Eminem beats. They keep changing, and he just keeps going. Only stopping.
Beats that like songs that Eminem has already put out, and then these are just the instrumentals of it. Oh,
straight Eminem beats.
Those are complicated songs. This isn't Skip to My Lou.
And even it's his most recent album, Death Race for Love. He came out in an interview and said that he made that album in 3 days, just freestyling all the songs.
Yeah, but depending on who you're talking to, they say that's trash. He didn't put much
But you've heard the album.
Yes, dude, the album smacks. The album smacks. But they would say what more could he have done if he would have put more time and effort into it. Even for this podcast right now, what Professor's got us working on it so many days early because he knows the more time, more effort. Yeah. So, but if you're putting out a project that good,
it might go
3 days.
It might go platinum.
That might have been diamond.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, my number 1, Lil Wayne. Has to be Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
And that's
Easy F.
I grew up listening to this man. He survived through so many different generations of music. Starting when he started, he was he was different. His voice is different, unique, and he was fitting into the popular culture. Yeah. And then he started to find his way. He made a couple rock songs. He was okay, something slight.
I do remember that. Wasn't he with a band or what was it? Fall Out Boy?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Just made, he was just finding himself, and he's still relevant. He's managed to stay relevant no matter what the new generation of rappers making shorter songs and all that. But he's developed the shorter song style while also still sticking to his
true. Yeah.
And I have to give it to him. He's a GOAT for sure.
Yeah. We're going on 20 years. 2020.
About, yeah.
Yeah, dude, come on. Just shy of 20 years in the rap game and still being such a prominent figure throughout the whole thing. And there's never been a Lil Wayne is canceled either.
Yeah,
like on that
never.
video, like that Kanye recently put out, where he was like, "I was canceled before cancel culture," you know. Like I was doing all these things everybody was saying, like bash Kanye, like kill his career, and like they haven't killed me. I've never seen Lil Wayne have a moment like
I've
that.
never seen
besides
Wayne.
his battle with like drugs when he was going,
Yeah,
having all those
that.
epileptic attacks. You using the keyword surviving, like literally, dude.
Yeah.
That guy's been
Yeah.
close, like a lot of times.
I've never seen him really in like the light of shame, I guess.
Mhm.
The only time I've seen like something come up with him in the news would be like when he was like beefing with Birdman about the money.
Yeah, exactly. But, that's like that's business.
Yeah, Birdman was being a
Literally
clown
taking
for
his
that.
money.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's my top three.
it's a very solid top
Yeah.
three.
I feel bad because I'm not appreciating like Pac, Biggie, but like I personally didn't grow up listening to them. Like my mom listened to them. I listen to them every once in a while, but for me it's like these are the dudes that I literally draw all my influence from when I'm like. So today we have two local artists. We decided to interview them just to get their intake. We got Key and Bryce with us. Welcome.
So we figured we'd interview you guys just because you are actual artists and you guys know a little bit about the game. You know, you guys have put stuff out there like on SoundCloud and stuff. This isn't just like, oh, like I think like I could rap or something. You guys take this seriously, so we feel like your opinion on this like would definitely be substantial. We didn't just come, you know, have you guys like just talk to us. We want to interview you on your top three across all generations, like all genres, and most importantly, like why.
Yeah,
'Cause we're really trying to figure out like what the base elements of like what it is, what a successful artist is, like what they do for the culture, like how they influence you. So we're gonna interview like, you know, just a couple people and see like if there's any commonalities.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That, like just like yeah.
For sure.
Well, me personally, probably my favorite artist has a lot to do with me as an artist, like what I take influence from. So my favorite artist of the past is definitely Tupac because of his storytelling ability and his ability to really put what's on his mind on paper. That's something I admire, something I feel like I need to get better at. So that's something that I really like about him as an artist, and when I listen to his music, really makes me get into it. J. Cole, just because Cole is the GOAT. Like when it comes to everything, he can make, not only can he make, he's versatile, and that's something I literally can go on YouTube and look up at anybody type of beat and rap on it just because that's what I like about J. Cole. He can make a hit, but he can also do conscious rap. He can do trap music. He can do it all. There's nothing that J. Cole
The thing
can't
about
do.
Cole, he hasn't even got a Grammy yet. The Cardi B has a Grammy.
But I mean, like,
What is that, bro?
But
What is that?
that speaks to the music industry of today, though. It's not really. Cardi B has it. Cardi B, T.I., and Chance got a show called Rhythm and
Yeah,
Flow.
I've been watching that.
And if you watch it, when they're like judging these artists, one of the biggest things they talk about is their marketability. They're like, it's not always about your lyrics or the story you're telling. It's sometimes like, can you make a good song? They literally have told multiple people like, you can't win this competition because we don't think you have the ability to just make a song. That don't necessarily have to do with anything. It's just a good song people want to hear.
Yeah.
They talk about like quotables in songs. Like you didn't say anything in the song people are gonna want to say later. It's gonna be an Instagram caption. Cardi talked about that all the
Yeah,
time.
because I mean, when Drake drops an album, everybody's like,
There's always
captions,
something.
captions.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Caption.
Yeah.
But and then probably right now, I'm from Detroit, so there's a local artist, his name is Baby Smooth, and him,
Yeah,
I really
I
like
listen to
his
Baby
flow.
Smooth.
He's really like calm on the beat, and his voice is just so like relaxed, and it makes his flow very smooth, and everything goes together real good. So that's probably my
He's
favorite.
fine for sure. I listen to a couple songs.
And for me, growing up listening to music was kind of weird because I didn't really develop my own taste in music till I made a MySpace page. So,
What age were you at that? Yeah.
6th grade.
I didn't even have a MySpace.
Yeah,
I used to just listen to anything that came on the radio. If it came on the radio, I knew it.
I made a MySpace in 6th grade, but prior to that, I would just listen to whatever my mom was playing in the car, which wasn't really much hip hop music, maybe a little bit like T.I. So like as far as like my favorite artist from back then, it would have to be Wayne for me, because I mean he started rapping in the early 2000s. I don't really listen to too much like stuff from the 90s like Tupac and Biggie. Obviously I've heard songs, but I've never really given their whole discography, like a hard listen. So I would say Wayne, and then my favorite artist overall is Drake. Cause what can't he do?
What can he do?
He's the first rapper to bridge the gap between R&B and hip hop
Successfully.
Yeah,
That's because Drake, but that's exactly what Cardi was talking about. Like, Drake makes good music. Nowadays, you have to differentiate between good rappers and good artists.
Yeah.
Like, it is a complete difference, because you can make a song that doesn't have any information that's relevant to the culture, relevant to what's going on in today's society, the news, anything important at all. Gucci Gang has nothing to do with anything, but it's a song that kids can sing, and it's promoting a brand, so it's a good song. Like, but
I never even thought about that. Like,
the brand.
yeah, the brand promotion.
that's how it is. And then it also has a lot to do with the sounds. Like, it's a lot of G sounds. That's something that people like saying, because it's a hard consonant. Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci. Like, it's something for people to just turn up to. Like, and that's why, like, when you pick repetitive songs, some repetitive songs suck because people don't like the sounds coming from the words. But if it's a repetitive song that people like saying the words to, that it feels good coming out their mouth, it's fun to say, it's gonna blow up.
Key, you gave us what, 2?
Yeah. And then my favorite artist right now would probably have to be Sada Baby. He's another Detroit rapper. I'm from Toledo. It's like 45 minutes from Detroit, so a lot of my musical influence comes from Detroit. But just his energy, like, all his songs are high energy. If I'm in a bad mood, a good mood, it don't matter. I could turn on some Sada and just turn up. But I'm real big on melodic rap. Like, I love melodic rap.
Me too, man. Me too.
Rappers getting in their feelings, and I love that type of music.
I think low-key, I think Drake was like the godfather of kind of like that movement.
High key.
Oh, hell.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Yes.
But that plays into another element of what makes songs big, and that's relatability. Like, if you can get people to relate to your music, like, and that's why I said I really like that. Well, that's part of the reason I said I really like Pac, because he's able to tell a story. Because if you can, like, accurately tell your story, there's something about everybody's life that is going to be relatable, that's popular, whether it's some type of heartbreak, some type of financial struggle, whatever type of hardship you went through. But if you can find a way, what makes it a skill is if you can put it on a beat and make it a song.
Yeah.
Once you can do that, like, it puts you in another tier of music off the rip. Like,
you got the recipe.
you got the recipe. Now you just gotta wait for your moment, and when your moment comes, then you gotta show up. You gotta execute.
Nowadays, some people don't even have to tell a story. You're like Lil Tecca, bro. He's up right now.
Yeah. He admitted everything in his song was cap. Y'all watch his rap genius. He said, "I ain't never touched a gun in my life. Like, don't do drugs.
He's like, I got a girlfriend.
I got a girlfriend." Like,
But it's hard though. Like, ransom's hard.
I look at music the same way as like movies. It's all entertainment for me. Like, you don't necessarily have to be doing what you're rapping about, but it's all about being relatable to fans and painting a picture for them. Like, yeah, somebody from the suburbs probably not going to be doing drugs or, you know, hitting licks and stuff, but they like to hear about that stuff because it's cool. So
authenticity is a big part of it. Like, it's something like Lil Tecca, like, you could look at him and tell, like, but with the type of music, like, yeah, me and Key are real big into the melodic music too, but like, we make a lot of different types of music, and the easiest way to make, in my head, the easiest way to make music is to be honest, because otherwise you gotta think about something to lie about, when I could just say something about myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I know everything about myself, so it's like, yeah, it makes it like, it's rappers that maybe inflate stuff or exaggerate stuff, because part of being an artist is you gotta make your life something to be sought after. Ain't nobody gonna listen to your music if they don't want to be you, if they don't want to do the things you're doing, if you're not doing something that everybody can't do. Like, you gotta be different in some way, shape, or form. So you gotta pick something about yourself that's like, all right, everybody can't do this, everybody don't do this. This different about me.
it's like motivation.
Yeah.
Hearing people, because all these rappers come from nothing. Like, we don't see that. We seeing them with the $100,000 chains on, but they all come from nothing. And so hearing them flex on the beat, it's all motivation. It's like, I can do that too. Like, I want to get there too.
It's really, if you look at like the moral of the story, it's just like, it's about hustle. People talk about hustle as such a bad thing, about, oh, it's selling drugs, it's scamming, it's this and that, but hustle is just finding a way for yourself. And that's a big part of rap music as a whole, whether it's trap music, whether it's the in your feelings, telling you how to get out of it. It's like having that hustle to level up. That's the biggest part of rap.
Hustle is drive.
The hustle is drive, and that's what I feel like a lot of people don't really understand. They think they got this negative
Just the
stigma
connotation
to it.
around it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
When that ain't even really what it's all about, for real, for real.
All right, man.
think that wraps it up. So that was pretty good. It was pretty insightful stuff. Appreciate y'all coming through, talking to us. For sure, for sure. That's right. All right. Catch us next week on Woo 199. This is IMO. We out.
Alright. So next we got Harlan Jones, one of our best friends, president of Valor Cleveland, which is a non-profit that works to inspire millennial minorities. And also we think he's got a pretty good stance on music. He's a pretty articulate kid, so let's have him come on in.
Always playing bangers.
Always playing bangers. So Harlan
How you doing,
Jones.
dog?
Appreciate y'all having me.
Of course, man, of course. Got a great taste in music. You listen to a lot of different genres. We really appreciate that. So I want to have you come in and give your opinion on some things for us.
Yeah, so we're just asking top 3 favorite artists across all genres, across all generations, and then most importantly, why they're your top 3. And we're trying to like find some commonalities between everyone's opinion and analyze it.
So when Bryce and Key were here, they did their favorite artist right now. They did their favorite artist
Of the past,
of
and
the
then
past, yeah, and then they had
most like influential.
most influential, yeah.
But you can just, I mean, you can,
But yeah,
however
this is
you
what
want.
they did.
Yeah.
But this is
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do the top 3.
Sure.
for
I
sure.
think. I don't know if I got a particular order, but I just think, in my opinion, these 3 dudes stand out.
All right, yeah.
So the first dude I'm gonna go with Michael Jackson.
All right, yes.
I know y'all feel me with that. Yeah. King of pop, you know, he kind of was revolutionary with the way he's a minority male coming into the pop and dominating, just taking over the whole genre of music.
Well, people say he's like the first true entertainer,
Exactly.
right? Like, more than just an
His
artist.
visuals, all that.
Dance and everything.
Yeah.
Music videos huge too.
Music
His
videos, he was one of the
are crazy.
pioneers
Yeah.
for the, yeah.
And outside of music too, his presence just in pop culture as a whole, he kind of took that pop star to a whole new level.
Yeah.
So that was real cool. So let me think. I gotta go with Drake. Drake,
man.
flowing into the pop, he was one of the first dudes to take the rap star and a pop star, kind of merge it into one.
Very
You know,
true.
and it's crazy. He's a kid that came from acting and then going to rapping, and he kind of was somehow able to develop that first cult following. Now rappers like Playboi Carti, Travis Scott, they all got them cult followings. But if you think about it, Drake was one of the first people
Wow, I
that
never
had
thought
that,
about that, yeah.
had that crazy following because he was a true pop star and also a rap star at the same time. He had dudes in the hood listening to his music, and he also has people living in nice suburbs that like rap music
Facts,
listen to his songs too. So just kind of crazy. Lastly, this dude might be my number 1. He recently just had a video too talking about that he was the best artist of all time, Kanye.
Yes, I saw that. I saw
yeah.
that.
Oh
He's making
my-
valid points, dude.
Oh my god.
I love like his like new like energy and like stance on things. He's kind of got like he's always had that I don't care like
Right.
thing going on.
Right.
But like this is like different. This is
Right.
like a more like educated, aware. Like
Right.
I don't care.
I feel like he switched, like did a complete 180 type.
Yeah.
I think he lost his drip in the process. So.
What, dude?
I swear, bro. He got, I swear.
He was on Twitter. Dude.
He doesn't love everything he used to. I liked his old style.
He might be losing the drip, but he was the first dude to bring that. We was just talking about this the other
Yes,
day.
we were. We were talking about
Yeah.
ASAP Rocky was like one of the first to bring like high fashion, probably the first to bring like high fashion in the rap game and like merge them.
Oh, yeah,
Now you got
okay.
like gangbangers at New York Fashion Week, but his influence was Mr. West, like because
Literally.
yes, dude. Forget high fashion. Kanye brought fashion. Just
Brought his own
period.
fashion.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
And now it's crazy too, cause he's doing so much more that's just deeper than rap. Cause nowadays everybody's talking about how, and rap music is bad now because we always expect the rapper to cuss.
Mm-hmm.
And Kanye just dropped that whole album, no cuss
A
words.
single cuss word on
And
it.
it was fire. If you're not hip to it, go
Yes.
get hip. Go get hip for
hip.
sure. But I mean, he's doing that. He's showing us it's possible. He's truly revolutionary in everything he does. That's why people always try and hate on him, but he's just different. Just comes with the new wave. Just might be way early,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
a few years down the line, people gonna look back and
Always go back and re-listen to Kanye albums.
I feel like
Why was
I
that
feel like he
not
just
bad?
opened a whole new door for like a wave of artists that can just like make gospel music, like meaningful music without even like getting the
Yeah,
Stereotypical
without the
message.
crowd, the audience being like,
Right.
oh, this is corny.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's-
he gonna have people Get ready to go to the club in the car. Listen to the gospel music.
That's insane to think about.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's
What was
funny.
most impressive to me is like not only did he just like not use a single cuss word on that album, but it banged.
Bang.
Like it didn't sound like Kids Bop. You
He
know
was
what I'm
spitting,
saying?
bro.
Yeah, it's
Like,
very impressed, very impressed. But that's a solid top 3. All right,
Yeah.
thank you for coming in.
Appreciate
I appreciate y'all
Giving
having me.
your esteemed
Sure.
opinion, Mr. Jones.
Of course.
All right. You want to do the honors this time?
nah, you got it again.
All right, we'll catch you next week on Woo 199. This is IMO signing off. Skirt. So welcome back to Woo 199. This is the review. We're about to go over like all the little commonalities and the things that we thought really contributed to not just an artist's success, but also their likability, their influence on the
Yeah.
culture. Yeah.
So, honestly, based on the interviews, what we found, the number one thing is the ability to be versatile and just being able to thrive in many different areas. Like, an example, Drake, and everyone was talking about how he has bridged the gap between R&B and hip-hop, and that was huge, and that's big with any artist wanting to contribute to the mass appeal or popular culture. You have to be versatile in some way.
Exactly. And another thing that we found is that it's not just versatility, but it's that original type of
Authenticity.
that authenticity where they bridged this blah blah blah, but he was the first. And not only was he the first, but he did it on a grand scale. He's not just singing, he's a great singer and he excels in both. So it wasn't just that like he was doing it, but he was a pioneer in what he was doing and he set a standard for others to follow as well.
We also found like relatability was a huge factor. Like nobody's gonna, you can listen to music because it sounds good,
Right.
but you also listen to music because it tells, like the story that goes along with storytelling ability too.
Mm-hmm.
If it tells a story that you can relate to, then you're gonna listen to it and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna actually feel the music and you'll be like, wow, this like really relates to me. And that's what artists really try to do when they make music, is they want to relate to a group of people to create a following and to just contribute to like everybody enjoying their music and being able to really vibe with them.
Yeah, and bouncing off of that energy, the artist's energy, what they're bringing, not what they're saying, and not even so how they're saying it, but how they're making the listener feel, what resonates with you. And it's incredibly difficult, and we have to give props to these artists for them to find these experiences, these different like circumstances that fit with such a broad audience. When these artists are doing this, it resonates with you where you feel like they're speaking to you only, but it's millions.
Yeah.
And that's what's super important and super skilled. A lot of these artists were hitting on where they've grown up, and that we have to give props to as well, because everybody comes from a different background. Like the age-old saying that you have to put yourself in someone else's shoes to understand how they came up. And so for these artists to be able to accurately tell the story of how they came up and have that be something that's so sought after. If you can't relate to it, you want to.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is like a big thing in the success of these artists, is not embellishing where you came from, but telling the story in such a light that it's sought after.
People want to be you.
Yeah. Or at least experience things that you have.
Yeah.
Bryce had a really good point when he was talking about how it's not, people have to want to do some things that you do. You have to tell a story where you say, this is just me. Only I'm really doing this. So this is a unique standpoint. unique. I mean, that's what sets you apart. That's what sets an artist apart.
And then lastly, in regards to pop culture, is just your presence within the pop culture. Like how Seth said, being the first to do something, you have to bring something new to the table that people are like, wow, this is revolutionary.
Yeah, there's our review. Those are a few of the commonalities that we really think are foundational on what it takes to be a successful artist and what it takes to also be popular in the culture, pop culture.
Be popping.
Thanks for tuning in to Woo 199. This is Seth Boy and D Drizzle signing off.
Peace.